Good morning, everyone. Today our topic is reflexiveness, and the term reflexiveness is of the following type. There are many types of reflexiveness. We shall discuss them one by one. Reflexive relationship. It is between a term with itself and itself. Between a term and itself, it is comparing a thing with itself. Some examples are is equal to itself, resembles itself, as old as, and as young as. Partial reflexiveness. It means some establishing a relationship with some other thing. Its examples are A is as tall as B, B is as tall as C, hence A is as tall as C. So it's called partial reflexiveness. And the third one is irreflexive. This type of relationship cannot be held between a term and itself. We cannot had a relationship with a term and itself. A is smaller or greater than itself. A is west or east of itself, so on. We cannot have any relationship with itself when we are saying these things. Non-reflexive. This may or may not be held between a term and itself. This may or may not be them. May not be held. An example is A loves itself. This may or not happen. May or may not happen. This can happen or not. So it's non-reflexive. The other one is connexity. Connexity. This type of relationship is valid between any two terms. For example, 3 is greater than 2 but less than 4. They are forming a relationship between two terms. Any two terms. Because 3 is making a relationship with two terms, 2 and 4. 3 is although greater than 2 but is less than 4. Types of definition. There are many types of definition of connexity. A definition is and it's not connectivity, but there are many other definitions that you have to study for the examination perspective, and there are many definitions that have been directly asked in your exams, in your paper 1. So let's study about the types of definitions. Definition is a comprehensive description of a concept. You know this. What is the definition? Definition is a comprehensive description of any concept through the verbal means. The purpose of definition is as follows. What is the purpose of definition? To describe concept at given level of abstraction. To distinguish concept from related concept, we have to if we want to distinguish any concept from another concept, then we will use the definition to describe this, and it is establish a relationship between the concepts in question and other concept in order to determine the position of concept in the system. It describes the concept position in the system. To delimit a concept for the purpose of normative terminological work. The definition should be the starting point for the selecting and analyzing the term. If you want to select and analyze a term, first of all we will read the definition of the thing. It is necessary to start with a clear definition and the concept. For clarity of the concept, its intention and its extension have to be determined. In net examination, questions have frequently been asked on the definition of the following terms. So these are some definitions that are very necessary for the example point of view. The first definition is intentional definition. Intentional definition is specifying the properties or features and also the meaning of a term. What is intentional definition? Intentional definition is specifying the properties and features and also the meaning of a term. For example, in chemistry, water is defined as compound of hydrogen and oxygen, while in physics it is defined as a liquid and with freezing point 0 degrees Celsius and boiling point of 100 degrees Celsius. So different, and it is specifying the properties or features of also the meaning of term. It is specifying the properties. Intense means if it is what is water in chemistry is not water in physics. We call water in physics that thing that boils at 100 degrees Celsius and that freezes at 0 degrees Celsius. But in chemistry we say it the compound of water, the compound of hydrogen and oxygen. So this is called intentional definition. And what is extensional definition? Is specifying the class members of the term. For example, the planet of the solar system are Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. That extensional they have extended the terms into a groups. They have made the things into a particular groups. That's called the extension definition. We have specified the class members of the term. We have, what do? We classify the terms of the specific group. That is called extension definition. What is lexical definition? This is very important definition that has been asked many times. It is also termed as reportive definition. Reportive definition. Lexical definition is a dictionary meaning of the term, the common vocabulary of a given language, for example defining a book, chair, and so on. Lexical definition is a simple definition that we have in our dictionaries, that is called lexical definition. So we can whenever we say lexical word, you should have in your mind a dictionary. And what is stipulative definition? It is an arbitrary specified definition. It is not used to explain the existing meaning of a term, but to assign a new meaning to a term. It assigns a new meaning to a term. We do not discuss the meanings of given at a particular time. But we discuss a new meaning. We discuss a new meaning with the word. That's called stipulative definition. Whether or not it has already got a meaning. Sometimes examples are idioms and slangs used in English. Okay, we allow and we tag a new word, new meaning with the word. This is called a stipulative definition. The another one is precising definition. Definition developed to clarify a vague and ambiguous term. If we have some ambiguous term and we take out a definition to explain a term, that is called precising definition, so that it can be precised and it can explain the term very nicely, because it has many ambiguous terms in the definition. For example, it is often used for illegal, scientific, or medical settings. For example, virus is an infectious agent that causes smallpox. Persuasive definition. A persuasive definition is an definition that attaches an emotive, positive, or derogatory meaning to a term where it has none. This may be used as a rhetorical tool in a debate or discussion. For example, someone against abortion may offer the definition of abortion as a murder of the innocent person during pregnancy. This definition carries a negative connotation, as the term murder suggests that abortion is a wrongful killing and assumes that the aborted fetus is already a person. Such a definition is surely not appropriate in a fair debate on the moral legitimacy of abortion, even though it might be useful as a rhetorical tool. So persuasive definition is to persuade someone by your definition. If you say that abortion is a killing of the if abortion is a killing, so it says that, and it is a rhetorical tool, because it is used in the debate mostly, because you are giving the definition to clarify your point of view. It may or may not be true. Operational definition, and definition that provides a meaning to a term by specifying a measurement procedures. This gives the measurement procedures of a term. It's called operational definition. Functional definition, a definition that specifies the purposes or use of the item denoted by the term. What are the uses and purpose of the given term? If I say this is a pencil, this is used for writing exams, for writing your notes, that means this is called the functional definition of this pencil. If I say that this pencil is 10 mm, or this pencil is 10 centimeter long, so this is called operational definition, and it has this much wood in it, used in it, this much volume in it. So that's mean it's called operational definition. And ostensive definition, a definition developed by showing someone an object and attaching a word to it. If this type of definition is used when a term is difficult to define verbally, either because the words will not be understood as with children or new speaker of languages, or because of the nature of terms such as colors and sensation. For example, defining red by pointing out red objects, apples, stop signs, roses. If it's used particularly for the children, because it's very important, it's become very difficult to make them understand what the topic is with the words only. So we give them a sign or some picture to show some pictures to them, so that they can get the meaning of the word. If I make them learn the word red, so I will show them the pictures of roses, and then picture of signs, red signs, stop signs, and apples. So is giving ostensive definition as its naming, so it is like naming. So if I say the child gray, and I want him to learn the name gray, so I show them and to understand what is gray, what gray is. So I will show him this pencil. Then look at this, this is the color gray. Okay, so this is called ostensive definition. And what is analogous definition? This definition has analogous corresponding in some particular. A brain and a computer are analogous. A brain and computer are analogous. So brain and computer are like same things. So same things are called analogous things. In biology, they are corresponding in function but are of different origin and having evolved separately as a wing of birds and insects. Something that are somewhere similar, that's called analogous. Okay, if I say that pencil and pen are analogous things, because pencil also writes and analogous also writes, that's called analogous things. So that's all for the for today's video. Let's discuss another topics in next videos. Till then, take care, bye bye, and study hard.